welcome along to Matchday Live here on this Friday evening on Fox's Hub. I'm Dan Bates. Matt Elliott and David Nugent are with me to take you through this huge championship game. It's first versus second, of course. Leicester travelling to Leeds United to face, of course, the Leeds Whites, who are on a great run of form. We'll get onto that in just a moment. Firstly, though, let's get all of tonight's team news for you, as Enzo Maresca has decided to make one change from the side that lost to Middlesbrough just under a week ago. That change is Hamza Chowdhury coming in. He is in that right-back hybrid position, with Ricardo moving into a more traditional central midfield position. So it's Hermansen in goal, Justin, Vestergaard, Fass and Chowdhury, with Winks, Dewsbury Hall and Ricardo the midfield three, Mavididi and Fatawu in behind Patson Daka. On the bench, it's Stolarczyk, Cody, Doyle, Albrighton, Pratt, Cannon, Yunus, McAteer and Ben Nelson. Leeds United are on fire, as I just said. They've won 8 games in a row in the league since the start of the new year. The last 5 of those have been without conceding a goal. Unsurprisingly, they are then unchanged from the side that beat Plymouth in the early kick-off on Saturday. Meslier in goal, Firpo, Ampadu, Roden and Gray across the back four, with Gruev and Kamara in midfield. Somerville and Nonto, as well as Rutter, are in behind Joel Pirro. Well, they're both teams then for this massive game here on this Friday evening. I've got Matt Elliott and David Nugent alongside me here. David Nugent, the man that's got 6 goals in 22 games against Leeds United, one of those as well for the Foxes. We'll look at that a little bit later on, but there's no G'ing up needed of this fixture tonight, is there? It's right there. It's first versus second.
Yeah, you just said it, first versus second. What a game. Obviously Leicester coming off a defeat. What a game to come in and put things right. Playing a team who are just behind you, chasing you. What a way to go out now and win the game and make a statement.
And we've also got boyhood Leeds United fan Matt Elliott. Not anymore.
Maybe don't mention that one. Not for a long while now, but yeah, used to back in the day. In the days of, well, anyone's old enough to remember Tony Curry. What a player he was. He was my idol back then. You don't remember?
I don't remember Tony Curry.
You're not that much younger than me, Luke. But,
if he's shaking his head, what chance of
I know, exactly. That is worrying me. But that was back in the day, but it's all about the present and the current, isn't it? And as you both mentioned there, the way it's come around, the way it's set up, and I know Enzo Maresca was, rightly so, sort of playing it down a little bit, but it's whetted the appetite of a lot of people, myself included.
Yes, it's nice of Matt to mention Enzo Maresca. Coming up on the show, we will hear from the Leicester City manager, of course, speaking ahead of this game at Elland Road. We'll take a look, of course, though, at that game just under a week ago. A frustrating defeat in the end against Middlesbrough, who indeed have done the double now over Leicester this season. We'll be hoping that Leeds don't repeat that trick this evening, of course. We'll take a closer look at the Lily Whites, who, as we've said, are in a rich vein of form at the minute, particularly going forward. They look very frightening indeed. I mentioned it just then. We saw Middlesbrough do the double over Leeds a week ago. They'll be hoping that Leeds don't repeat that tonight, and they're the form side, aren't they, at the moment in the Championship, which is probably what pretty much every single team has said ahead of playing against Leicester this season, whereas now it's the other way around. Yeah,
but I think Leicester's form previously is still the best. That's why they're top of the league. That's why they're the best team in the Championship. And although Leeds are in good form, it is a great opportunity to go to Elland Road, with the atmosphere, 3 points on the line, a chance to go 12 points clear of everybody else, playing catch up. So if I'm a Leicester player and a fan going to Elland Road, I'll be buzzing for this game.
Yeah, I think that's how Leicester will approach it. Dave's right there. You speak from experience. You've got to back yourself. I mean, you can't be a Leicester City player going into this game and thinking, going into the Lions' Den sort of thing, oh my God, it's going to be terrifying. It'd be different if they were on an atrocious run of form and they weren't playing well collectively, etc., etc. But as you mentioned, okay, the Coventry defeat before the Middlesbrough, but there's going to be bumps in the road, as people say. Without a doubt, we said that from the off. And we both had quite a lot of experience in this division. And you realise that it's never going to go perfectly, swimmingly, 100% all the way through. It's how you react and what a game to react to. It's going to be tough because you talk about Leeds being in form in an attacking sense with clean sheets as well. There's no tougher game at the moment in the Championship than Ellen Road away. But as we know, Leicester on their travels, very capable.
Yeah, as a player, this is the game you want to play in.
Yeah.
Night game under the lights at Ellen Road. The atmosphere is going to be unbelievable. Go out there and put performance on.
Yeah, is that what gets you excited as players?
Yeah. But you're not going into it as certainly as fearful as some of the supporters are.
Okay.
Understandably, they're looking at it and they've been analysing. This is where we said many times from the manager and the player's point of view, not to really look at the table too much. And I've heard the players speak about, they have a glance and they see what's going on. Of course they do, but they're not focused on it day to day because they'll end up getting a right tiz one way or the other. And in games like tonight, situations like tonight, it would probably affect you and add some extra pressure. But just carry on with what you're doing, have that belief, be appreciative of the situation around it, but relish it. You're going, like Dave says, there's something on this game, properly on this game, isn't there? And what a place to go and win and put things in order a little bit, and then all of a sudden you've got a totally different outlook, haven't you?
I mean, I'm by no means saying that a Leicester win tonight does anything either way, but it stops that Leeds momentum, doesn't it? And it'll be a real kick in the teeth for the home side if Leicester can go there and get the result.
Yeah, I'd put it down to their aspirations as well. It'll be a 12-point gap. That's a 4-game swing, but how many games left?
12 after this.
12 after that,
this.
yeah.
And you're not going to expect Leicester to give up 12 points in the final 12 games, are you? So it's a massive confidence thing. This is let's go out there and put a performance in. And even in the reverse picture, Leeds, they press really high. And you think that was high, wait until you see the press at home at Ellen Road. So if Leicester can beat that first press and get in the spaces, get Winks on the ball, and Pereira, Dewsbury Hall on the ball, I think Leicester could be in for an exciting afternoon.
Yeah, and I mean, it's not going to create anything that's done and dusted by any stretch, but it is quite sizable how much on this game. If Leicester win it, I mean, it is huge. It is huge. If they don't, okay, it's not a terrible situation, is it? 6 points clear. You'd have taken that at the start of the season at this stage.
Yeah.
Listen, the possibilities are multiple there, but yeah, what an opportunity, what a game to play in.
I think Leeds have to win this game just to put any pressure on Leicester. I know it's at 9 points, but if it goes to 12 or 6, I think Leeds will get a bit of momentum. So I think they have to win it to try and put Leicester on the back foot. But if Leicester win it, then I think...
Yeah, because strangely, they're a team in form, but probably the pressure is more on them.
Yeah, I mean, there you look at the table, and it is literally then a 6-pointer, isn't it?
Yeah.
But if it goes, if it goes Leicester's way, or even a draw, like you say, then all of a sudden there's a bit of sort of fuel taken out of their surge, really, and it's like, we've done all this and we're still that many points behind. But all ifs and buts, we'll have to wait and see. But the point Dave makes there, away from home, you never quite know. Leeds could pressurise and upset Leicester. But if Leicester away from home, we know what they're like. If there's more room to be exposed or they break through the press, as Dave says, Leicester are very adept at playing that way. We've seen it many times already this season. So there's just as much, it could go literally either way at any time. And that's what's got people really excited.
You've seen with the league table, 2nd, 3rd and 4th. If Leeds loses tonight and Southampton and Ipswich lose, Leeds go down to 4th. So you just...
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So there's a lot of pressure on Leeds for the same as well.
Yeah.
You think more pressure then on Leeds 100%. Than on Leicester?
Well, even Enzo said in his press conference, didn't he? He said it's a big game for Leeds, but it's just another one for us in the process of trying to get back to the Premier League. They have to win for me, I think. I'm
interested in what you said a little bit earlier about, as a player, you maybe don't have the same trepidations, if you like, that some supporters might. I think the consensus reading maybe on social media is that Leicester fans would be very pleased with the point at the game tonight. But as a player, you don't think that.
I don't think you ever go into a game going for a point, ever, as a player. You go in there to win no matter what.
Even if you're bottom of the league.
Even if you're bottom of the league.
You go like, we'll dig it out and we'll hang in there and we'll nick one. You believe that until you're 3-0 down.
Yeah, you need to go out there and believe in yourself and in your abilities that you're going to win the game. And these players have done it basically all season. So what's different tonight?
Like some supporters have seen it in various forms of media outlets, whatever. they think it's straightforward because of the run of form or last weekend's result on the back of that against Middlesbrough. But players don't think like that. No. Players will be thinking, right, okay, you know, it's different. If Leicester had lost the last 15 or something, then they go, okay, but they've lost the last one, that won't upset them too much.
Yeah, you look before the game, obviously with Middlesbrough, Leicester had won 5 in a row in all competitions. Yeah. So we're not talking about one team banging form against another team stuttering.
It's two good teams going up against each other, isn't it? And we've just spoken about different permutations, outcomes, and no one knows until the proof's in the pudding. But you know, which makes it exciting. But there are many different eventualities, aren't there? Because the ability that both teams have and the attacking prowess that both teams have got.
Yes, well, go on.
No, I was thinking the previous game, Middlesbrough, I think it was just a blip. You know, Leicester could have been, 2-0 up after 5 minutes if they take the 2 chances. Never took them, got punished for it, and couldn't get back into the game until the end, till Vardy scored. But there's a clean slate against Leeds. You know, the players got there, one change, and what an opportunity.
Well, nice segue from Nuge there. We will take a look at that game just under a week ago, of course, against Middlesbrough, which did end in defeat, but it so nearly could have been very different.
Goes again. Steph Mavrodini plays it into the penalty area, and it was Ricardo who didn't get good connection on it. Fatawu dinks it into the area. Oh, the header's wide by Daka, but it hasn't gone behind. It was the header, but it actually went across the 6-yard box, and then Fatawu with a volley, and it goes out for a throw-in. What a messy passage of play that was, Matt. Here they go again, though, over on the far side. Middlesbrough have it, and the flag has not gone up. It's McGree, plays it in. Azaz! Middlesbrough lead. Finn Azaz gets his 2nd goal in a week. What a terrific counter-attack, you have to say, from the visitors. They've come here and been positive. And the underdogs lead by a goal to 0.
Forward exceptionally quickly, don't they? And here they are
Ryan
again.
McGree. And the chance, it is 2-0. Silveira scored. Incredible scenes here, the King Power. Unprecedented scoreline. Leicester City trailing at home in the first half by 2-0. Sammy Silveira burst into the penalty area.
Inside and the ball's played outside, or vice versa.
Yunus. This is McAteer, plays it into the 6-yard box. Vardy was arriving, but he just couldn't dink it. He just needed a touch where he felt he had to lift it, I think.
Alternative role for him, but it looks like he's played there before.
Vardy through the centre. He's 1-on-1 with the goalkeeper. Vardy scores! They're still in this one. At last, Vardy gets the ball out of the back of the net. No time to celebrate. He's at the halfway line now, putting the ball down.
Well, 2-1 it did finish to the visitors on Saturday, as we heard you a couple of times there in co-commentary.
Interrupting.
You obviously, witnessed it firsthand.
Yeah.
Disappointing afternoon, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. Leicester weren't in their best form, I think it's fair to say. Not as fluent as they could be, but yeah, Middlesbrough came and did a job, made it awkward. They really laid the back 3, didn't they? And then congested in the midfield area, which is vital for Leicester. And they weren't able to pop the passes together like they do. And then they still had the threat of the couple up front, didn't they? That were running Leicester ragged on the occasions, on the break, on the counter, where Leicester themselves exposed with some poor play. But generally, as Dave mentioned just prior to the clip there, Leicester weren't at their best, far from it, but they had 2 golden opportunities. Daka, we saw one there, and Vestergaard to go in front. And when Leicester go in front, they normally win. It didn't turn out to be their day. But it's not like they got turned over or trounced, did they? They had plenty of shots. It wasn't happening on the day. Not many on target as a result, but plenty of possession, etc. But just didn't hit top gear at all, anywhere near it. But it's not to say that they might be able to change things this evening.
Again, yeah, as I said before, it's just a blip. Honestly, the chances that we created in the first half, the first two, we didn't see Vestergaard's chance, did we? I thought that was easy of the two.
There was another Vestergaard chance in the second half as well, wasn't there?
And then obviously Vardy's in the second half, he's hit over the bar. Then he manages to get one to make it 2-1, but probably just a little bit too late in the game for us to get back into it.
That's without playing well.
Yeah,
still getting those chances.
So yeah, it wasn't the best performance, but again, we could have got something out of the game.
Is it one of those, great goal by the way from Jamie Vardy, wasn't it? Well played from Cannon. Obviously we've no Jamie Vardy in the squad tonight.
Yeah, that's a tough one for the fans to take. This was a Vardy game all over for me. Ellen Road, full house. Getting a bit of stick. He'll thrive on that kind of stuff. And we can still see he's got it. His first touch there for the set him up for the goal was perfect to finish in the back of the net. But he'll be a sore miss for Leicester today. It's one of them things, and injuries take a part in football, and unfortunately he missed out tonight.
Yeah, it's a shame he's not part of the equation at least.
Well, he's there, and we know he's there, so I know he's going to be there for morale and the change.
Not involved in the squad, and he has a nice option to have, to say the least, isn't he? And like you say, in this sort of game, this sort of atmosphere, like it's going to be at Ellen Road, you want someone who's got that bit of edge, and Jamie Vardy certainly has that. And it also sort of picks up the confidence of the other players as well. They know they've got him there to call upon, even if it's just from the bench or whether he would have started or not. We'll never quite know. But they've still got plenty of ammunition there as well, though. Daka, Cannon. Cannon for me he can count himself unlucky not to start. I don't expect him to start at the moment because he seems like he's sort of third choice-ish, but he's more than capable as well. And I think he's the sort of player who like that atmosphere as well. He looks like he's got a bit about him. So hopefully not too much to worry about with Jamie Vardy's omission.
Yeah, I think Cannon knows if there's a substitution, he's going to be first up today. Obviously, if Vardy's on the bench as well, Vardy will be coming on, then Tom will be coming after. But he knows if Daka's not on it today, Tom Cannon's going to get at least 30, 35 minutes to show what he's worth and maybe come on and make an impact like he did for the goal when he set up Jamie Vardy in the last game.
You can see him, having a little bit like you had, I guess, in your career, that drive, that desire, and wanting to almost quieten the crowd, shall we say, Jamie Vardy style.
Yeah, it's nothing better than scoring away from home against a team that dislikes you, because you can just wind the fans up and then they come on top of you even more. And that makes me, or makes forwards, myself, whoever, performs better on the day. The more stick you get, the better I play. So the more I got stick, I loved it. Yeah. And Vardy's exactly the same. Someone
who was never adverse to giving stick to any sort of supporters was Jerry Taggart, who is on co-commentary duty for us tonight up at Ellen Road. Jerry, can you hear us? I believe we can see you this evening. There you are.
There he is.
Looking resplendent at Ellen Road. Are you looking forward to this one?
Yeah, great stadium, great atmosphere up here at Ellen Road. I'm sure like the rest of the two lads in the studio, we've all had the pleasure of playing up here. Very hostile crowd to the opposition. So there'll be no love lost in this game tonight. But so really looking forward to it.
It's the game everyone's been talking about, Jerry, really, isn't it, for the last week in particular, and you can see why.
Yeah, listen, two teams obviously going for promotion at the top of the league. Leicester coming off the back of a disappointing result, but a decent performance. And Leeds, are on a really good run at the minute, unbeaten at home all season. So this is a really tough ask for Leicester City, but if anybody can come and upset the odds at Ellen Road, then it's Leicester City.
Gerald, Matthew here.
Hello, Matthew.
Who's that strange-looking fella sat next to you? I semi-recognise him somehow.
There's lots of strange fellows sat next alongside me, Matthew. Too many to mention.
That wasn't going to be my only question, but we've been talking about the way this game might go or might not, and no one really knows who's going to get the upper hand. Leeds obviously doing well lately, and Leicester suffered a defeat last week, but good run before that. But do you think, with the situation it is, that the way that Leeds, full of confidence, will come forward in waves and press Leicester, but that just might suit Leicester City, do you not think?
Yeah, it could do. I think obviously Leicester have to have a clear plan without the ball, how they're going to deal with the pace and the quality that Leeds have in the forward areas of the pitch. That's rule number one. Now obviously Enzo will have his own ideas of how he wants to play when he has the ball, but I suppose you've got to show Leeds the respect that they deserve with the run that they're on. And that front 3 or 4 that they have been a real threat. You know, with Willie Nonto, Somerville, Rutter, and obviously Perot as well. You know, they're a real handful, so they've got to sort that out. Set pieces as well, Matt. You know, Leicester lost the game to a set piece, the second phase of a set piece at King Power Stadium. They can't afford to concede another goal from a set piece. So that is massive without the ball. But as far as in transition, yeah, they've got the quality and they've got the players to hurt Leeds. We know that. And again, unlike Saturday where they created opportunities and had 20 odd shots on a goal, they have to try and maximise the opportunities that come their way. Because I think Leeds, I've already said they haven't been beaten, but they've got the most clean sheets as well in the division. So, you know, Leicester have to be right on point tonight in the forward areas.
Go on in, Sam. One last question.
Yeah.
What's the food like, mate? Any?
When it finally came, I mean, they say there was a bunch of gannets in there tonight is an understatement. The food kept coming in and it kept going. I couldn't find time to get myself to the hot plate because Stevie Howard was in my ear.
Oh, no chance, no chance.
Yeah, you know what I mean. But eventually, when I got there, it was pie and peas, but chicken tikka pie and peas, probably my least favourite pie of all time. But I still had to because I'm starving. So there you go. Chicken tikka pie and peas twice.
Lovely. No chips?
No chips tonight, no. I'm on a diet.
Good lad.
Very nice. Thank you very much, Jerry. It's been great seeing you as well this evening at the away game, of course. Hopefully we'll be hearing you celebrating a Leicester City victory tonight. He wasn't celebrating his choice of pie, though, this week. Always nice when Matt asks Jerry, and likewise what they've had at the away games. Jerry mentioned there the 4 attackers, if you like, for Leeds United. As a defender, how do you stop them? How do you stop that?
Well, yeah, you've got Bamford on the bench as well, who's
James too.
James as well, yeah, exactly. They've got depth in the squad. We talk about Leicester's depth, but Leeds pretty impressive as well. How do you go about stopping them? Well, it's got to be it's a collective effort, isn't it? It's not individuals, and that's what defending is all about units and working together. Easier said than done, though. You know, all the prep can go in, and I think it'd be interesting. I was going to ask Jerry there, but I thought he went on long enough with his answer anyway, so we'll move on. But no, but I'm saying that in the first 10 minutes, say, of games, in my time and in times after my playing career, they always expect to keep it tight, be solid.
Keep the crowd quiet.
Yeah, just get the ball. Just clear your lines. If in doubt, get it out, etc.
We all know that's not going to happen, don't we?
No, exactly. And you're thinking maybe Leicester would be well served to do that tonight, all things considered, but they're not going to. Like Nugent just said, they're going to still play around at the back, and Winks is going to come tight, and Ricardo's going to come in and help out, and you're going to have a sharp intake of breath every time Leicester are on the ball. More often than not, they don't get penalised, and you're just thinking, they could be asking for trouble against Leeds. Just about got away with it in the home game against Leeds.
Give it away a couple of times in a row.
Yeah, and it was, it was mighty fine lines. I just think they can maybe serve themselves well. You're talking about how do you stop Leeds? That might be phase 1 out of the way. But generally, I mean, you've got to be up for your 1v1s as well, haven't you, there? Especially the wide players, Nonto and Somerville, they're as good as anyone in the league. They're a match for Taru and Mavididi in that respect. And battles have got to be won all over the pitch. But Leicester might have a little bit more defending to do tonight than they have done ordinarily. So it's got to be very much a collective. Winks and Ricardo, they're going to be as vital as the centre-halves.
Yeah, I think with Leeds' high press as well, I think if Leicester can beat that first press from the front 4-3, then I think Leeds have to come out and try and play higher up the pitch, which will allow Leicester to feed balls into midfield a lot quicker or a lot easier than it was at the King Power. So, but it'll be an intriguing game. But I just think with the two squads have Premier League squads here who've just been relegated from the Premier League, and if we give the ball away in situations where in our own final third we could be in trouble, but if Leicester beat that final third, then I think we could put Leeds in a lot of trouble on the other end.
Yeah, we can get the Leicester team news actually back up on your screen for those of you maybe just joining us, because one of the changes, as we've been talking about the Leeds attack, is the one change is Hamza Chowdhury moving to right back. Is that something maybe that he's looked at, and he's seen the likes of Nonto 5 in 5?
Yeah,
he's got at the moment. Whether it's him off the left, whether it's probably more likely Somerville, but
yeah.
Either way, is that a change in mind of that?
Yeah, possibly. Like, Mesker would have weighed up, a few things to consider. For me, I think it's uncertainty in who plays in that second number 8 position, if you like, more than it certainly isn't a doubt on Ricardo going up 1v1 with Somerville. Hamza, for me, is as good as anyone in a 1v1 situation. He's so quick and nimble with his feet, and he's as strong a challenge as any player in the division.
I think that's why he's playing as well.
Yeah.
Because he gets that one chance on Nonto, he's going to try and put him in the stands just to try and keep him quiet.
Yeah, Nonto, Somerville, whichever way it works out. Hamza has that. Some people are a little bit sceptical of Hamza because he's a little bit rash, which he threatens to be a lot of times, but certainly, I don't want to tempt fate, but more often than not, he gets the ball, a lot more often than not. But I think it's more about his concern with, like, Dennis Pratt has come in and he's mentioned him about being a good foil with Dewsbury Hall. It hasn't really materialised. Eunice, in the blood and thunder of this sort of game, could go missing. So I think he's just weighed up all the options and balanced it off a bit.
Well, I think Pratt as well. He's only just come back from an injury, and he's played a lot of games since coming back. So I think he's put more getting rested than anything. I think Hamza coming in at the right back, he can go into midfield. So I think he'll be the one who comes in.
Hamza would be a good man to have at Ellen Road. He'll be up for it. That's
exactly,
for sure.
And he's a local lad as well. Playing for his boyhood club. He'll go into midfield, help Harry Winks out in there as well. And like I said earlier, if he gets a chance, I believe Nonto could, be in for a hard night if Hamza gets hold of him.
You need that, don't you? That the fight that you've been talking about, that resilience in games like this.
Yeah,
especially at Ellen Road, because these fans are on top of you. The atmosphere is going to be on top of you. They won't let you breathe. The Leeds players today for the first 10-15 minutes, they're going to be right on top of you, and it's just how Leicester react to it. If they can react well to it and keep the crowd quiet, keep the score 0-0, maybe nick an early lead and get the lead, I think it could be a long night for Leeds instead.
Yeah, because also I think that aspect of football and individual footballers is still a part of the game. Everyone thinks it's a bit sort of diluted these days with the rule changes and the different styles and approaches, but you still have to have a little bit underneath, inside you there to go to the likes of Ellen Road. Lively to say the least, against a very good side.
A lot of supporters probably taking half days today from work, haven't they, to prepare?
Yeah, they're probably making the most of it. But I saw a couple of buses coming from Leicester pretty early on today as well, so they'll have the fair few there. It's a great occasion. It's a great occasion. Not many leagues in the second division as such in England. It's something special compared to other countries, isn't it? How many times you get a game like this where people are genuinely excited, and from both sides of the coin as well, looking forward to it.
I mean, well, up until last season, obviously, these two were both Premier League clubs. A lot of people would argue, Leicester particularly, maybe, squad-wise, never should have got relegated. Leeds could even argue the same thing. So there's a lot of Premier League quality out on show tonight.
Yeah, literally 2 people who got relegated. He still kept most of the players. Obviously Leicester lose and Maddison and Barnes were big losses, but they're at the top of the Championship again. They got the best squad in the league. Albeit Leeds might have something to say about that, but they're proving that they're the better team so far. And this game, they got to go out there and prove it and show it that they are.
Let's hear from Enzo Maresca next. Before we do, though, a reminder that tonight's game is available, of course, as it always is on Fox's Hub, whether that's to watch or to listen. You can watch it if you're in certain territories, of course, particularly outside of the UK. Game passes are available for you. All you need to do is head onto lcfc.com/Fox's Hub. The information will be there about what is and isn't available to you. If you can't watch it, then you can listen to it, of course. There are Listen Live monthly passes. We're towards the end of the month. I'm sure you've probably already got it by now, and you can listen to all of the action with John Dunn alongside Jerry Taggart on commentary duty for us. Right, I promised you Enzo Maresca. Here he is now up next. He was asked how important this game is.
Yeah, for sure, it's an important game. As we said already many times, from now on, every game is important because when you win, you see yourself close to the final target. When you draw points, you are a little bit sad. But in this moment, it's a matter of balance. We have still 13 games after tomorrow game, 12 games. So we are in the rush. Final rush and final run, and yeah, hopefully we can finish well. But for sure, it's an important game. But at the end, I said many times, 3 points tomorrow and 3 points is the next game.
How do you ensure that there's no doubt creeping into your players' minds as well?
No, just we said already. We try to prepare the game in the way we want to try. Then we can't control the final results. We saw the other day when we completely dominated the game, many shooting, but at the end we lost. So we are going to try to do our game, and in any case, I don't think in this moment it doesn't matter tomorrow results. We have more confidence or less confidence because since day one we are there. We are trying to finish well, and so will be one more game.
When the two sides met at King Power Stadium earlier this season, they were very aggressive. I know you spoke about the way that they played. Are you expecting a similar performance from them tomorrow, the similar sort of game style to be aggressive against you?
Yeah, for sure, especially at home. If they are already like this away, they can be even more at home. Yeah.
Would you say that this is maybe the biggest game of the season so far because of the context that goes with it? It's top two. Because of the league.
It's a huge game for them. For us, it's one more game.
If you could go to Ellen Road and win, how big a moment would that be in the season?
Yeah, for sure. Will be good, especially because winning tomorrow, that means that you need less points to reach the final target. But in case we are not going to win and we draw and we lose, we are still there and we are going to fight until the end.
How important will trying to quieten the crowd be for the first 10 or 15 minutes of the game tomorrow?
Yeah, for sure it will be very important if we are able to decrease their environment. That will be a key. But the only way we have is keeping the ball. And tomorrow we're going to try to go there and make our football, trying to control the game with the ball, avoiding some transition that happened in the first leg, that they had most of the chances, they had, they were all of them because we lost the ball. But also in the same time, we cannot think to go there and we are not going to lose the ball. It's going to happen. It's just matter of manage this moment.
That was Enzo Maresca there, speaking ahead of this game with Leeds United, that he said is a huge game for Leeds, isn't it? And for Leicester, it's another game, and that obviously pricked your ears, and I think it did a lot of Leeds supporters yesterday.
I think that'll be the reason one of the Leeds fans listen to that, thinking, do I want to show Enzo now that they're the better team or the bigger team? But he's right what they're saying. Leeds are the chasers. So for Leicester, it's just another game. For Leeds, it's a massive game for them because they have to win. We said it earlier.
Yeah.
For Leicester, another game of the 40-60 play all season. Win this, go 12 points clear. I think that could be it.
Yeah, it's quite clever as well, isn't it? Really, I don't think there's any sort of arrogance there at all. Some people try to transfer it into that, but what he's saying is pretty much right. Really, there's pressure on any game. There's pressure against Middlesbrough. Whatever, there's pressure against Stoke, but they end up winning it, comfortably, whatever, going into the game. Confidence can be quite a brittle thing, but with Leicester, they've built up reason to be confident over, quite a long time, over this campaign. And, going into it, the pressure is, Leeds have gone on a brilliant run, Southampton have gone on an amazing run, and then just one odd result, which you think is going to come their way sooner or later, and it has done in Southampton's case, all of a sudden it's taken the wind out of their sails a little bit. I know that they're still in the hunt, Southampton, of course they are, but Leeds lose today, then no one's going to say it, but that's a massive blow. It's a massive blow. really. You know, they win, okay, they're in with some sort of chance. But so there's more on it for Leeds. It's right to say that. And also to calm any fears that the players might have, because the players maybe read little bits and stuff, and some people are getting a bit edgy and nervous. But he's just sort of reaffirming to the players, isn't he, that boys, don't panic, but be aware it's a big game, yes. Go and do your thing.
Well, that usually comes into like the younger players, but if you look at Leicester's team, there's not really that many young players in there, is there?
Not kids,
are
they?
Kids
No.
like to think, oh, big game. All these players are experienced. Fatawu, obviously, but he's not really played Championship football this season. This is his first season. Mavadidi's first season. You know, the rest of them are all like well equipped to, you know, for playing Premier League football and now Championship football.
You would imagine they'd be relishing it.
Oh, yeah,
they're not.
If I was there now, mate, I would love this game.
You mentioned the word trepidation. That shouldn't even enter their minds.
Yeah, well, one thing, I don't obviously dwell on the negatives, but Leicester, you come throughout the whole season, you've confidently been able to say that they've got the meanest defence. They're now actually level with Leeds in 26 goals conceded each. The two of them, Leicester have scored 8 more goals, which is probably why they see themselves 9 points clear of them at the top. But it proves that Leeds are mean both at the back and good going forward as well.
Yeah, Leicester haven't absolutely collapsed or anything, have they? You know, there's probably sort of normal amounts of conceding of goals. Like Leeds is unusually stout defending, isn't it, to keep that amount of clean sheets. That won't continue. You know, they're a good side. They're a good side. So are Leicester. It's a good matchup. But you know, Leicester have gone long periods of time in previous campaigns, haven't conceded for quite a while, but sooner or later it happens. You know, there's no sort of absolute blueprint for it. But listen, records are there to be broken as well. And you know, you go up to it, makes it even sweeter to go up there. And I think Leicester will score tonight. I fancy them to score tonight. I think it's going to be a tough game. Don't get me wrong, but you know, you don't go up there fearful, basically, is what I'm trying to say.
Speaking of not going up fearful, and speaking of goals, David Nugent, you know what's coming next, don't you? Every single time you're on, get a little sting for it. Here is a David Nugent goal away at Leeds United.
Unlucky with injuries recently. Here's Moore. Here's Phillips. He leaves it to Nugent. It's Nugent, and Leicester City have their goal. 87th minute, and the leaders finally find a way beyond Leeds United. What a huge goal that is for David Nugent and Leicester City.
Well, when you are top of the table, at whatever level, you do get the breaks, and Leicester have just had a massive, massive break.
A massive, massive break.
Yeah, I was saying early on inside, like we got battered that game. You know, they missed a lot of chances, and the 87th minute, you know, there's barely any chance for Leeds to get back into the game after that. And you can see the celebration on Drinky's and Kingy's face, how much it meant, because, you know, it was a tough game, and that game for 3 points, you know, took us I think it was like 10 points clear at the top of the table that week. So it's like, you know what I mean?
We know what we're going to say. Repeat of that.
We've all looked at each other wanting to say exactly the same thing.
We'll take an 87th minute today, won't we?
Exactly, yeah. It could be as tough as you like if you don't concede and nick one late on. But time will tell. You would imagine there'd be goals in it, but you never quite know. But what I don't know either is, was that first touch, was that a shot, or was it a little touch that took a ricochet and fell in your path?
I do not care, mate. It was a great touch.
Because if it was a touch, it was a great touch to keep it in that confinement.
So I didn't realise Kevin Phillips was going to dumb you, to be honest with you. Knowing Kevin Phillips, he would have rather had a touch and shoot himself.
Yeah, he was looking for the return anyway.
Little 1-2, but the touch was that bad. Yeah,
jury's out. Jury's out on that first touch. I'm not sure.
I don't even think I touched it. I think it was the defender that touched it. You know, potentially wasn't me, but
at least you're being honest. Nice little finish though.
There we go. Can you see it properly now? Yeah, I think. I'm just trying to get
fell in your path.
It fell on my path and just
pounced on it.
Twinkle toes there. Look at that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to say it. We've said let's not, but the parallels are there, aren't they, in terms of it being what it was then, with Leicester eventually going up, to what it is now.
Yeah, you said it now.
Sorry, it's out there.
Yeah, well, I suppose it's quite easy to say that, but I'd hope for a more comfortable finish than, like Dave says, they were under the cosh in that game and then nicked it late on with that excellent finish from the man sat next to me. But something similar would be very welcome indeed. Yeah, but hopefully it's not as painful as that game, because there were lots of people watching tonight. Will be hoping it's a little bit more straightforward than that, but that's very unlikely.
Yeah. Well, we never know. We never know. But I think
all part of the drama, isn't it?
Exactly. It's one of those. Is sometimes when a game's had so much build-up around it, and obviously we're building it up here, that they tend to disappoint.
No.
But I can't see
it
that
might not be
tonight.
a classic.
I hope I'm.
You would think it would be an entertaining game, like similar to Leicester Ipswich. We were all sort of predicting that was going to be a really dramatic affair, and it wasn't that wildly exciting. Two good attacking teams, but the tension was always there, wasn't there? And the interest, and it'd be similar tonight. Even if it is 0-0, it doesn't matter. It's going to be tense because is someone going to nick one, and etc. So, but two teams that like to play very good football. You'd think it would be entertaining from that aspect as well.
Yeah, I guess even thinking back to the game here with Leeds United, could it be decided by an unbelievable goalkeeping save, like we saw with Ilian Meslier right at the end from Dewsbury Hall's header, from a set piece, which we saw obviously the goal in that game. It probably won't be a 3-0 either way, will it? I think it's going to be tight, and it might be a moment of brilliance, a moment of...
It's going to be a close game, and you seen in Enzo's press conference, didn't he? He said, like, Leeds' chances come from Leicester giving the ball away.
Yeah.
So he says he's probably looked back at the video of the last game and thought, well, we can't do this, can't do that. So we might see a different type of build-up.
Well, you say that. He said we're still going to play our way out, but just do it a bit better.
Yeah.
But if memory serves me right, I mean, overall, I think not too many people could disagree with Leeds getting the result here. Although, in the first half, I remember MATCHDAY and Fatawu, they absolutely took the fullbacks to the cleaners. But in the second half, for some reason, that stopped.
Both of them on yellows as well.
Gray and Byram, I think it was.
Yellow cards,
they just dropped off and gave them enough space, but they didn't really go for the throat. And the game turned a little bit in the second half, didn't it? Yeah, we might see similar tonight, ebbing and flowing.
Yeah, and Firpo likes to get forward. Fatawu might be looking at that and licking his lips tonight. Right, let's hear from a man who's been doing that a lot in 2024. Patson Daka has 3 goals in his last 3 games. He's been speaking pitchside at Elland Road ahead of this big game.
Patson, huge game this evening. How have preparations been this week ahead of this one?
Yeah, big game, like any other game, and the preparations have been great. We've been looking forward to this game, and we know it's not going to be easy, but we just need to be calm. We just need to be aggressive and play our game.
Leeds unbeaten here at Elland Road, but Leicester's away form has been really good as well. So you come here in confident mood despite that Leeds home form?
Well, yeah, they're on a great run at home, and we know that. But at the same time, it's a different day, it's a different ball game, and we just have to make sure we give a very good fight. Everything is possible, and we have come here for nothing less but 3 points, and so we just need to play together as a team and to do what we have been doing in training, and it's going to pay off.
Your own form as well, away from home, really impressive. 3 goals in the last 2 away games. You come here with confidence, looking to add to that tally.
Well, yeah, but I think it also because of the team's help, the way we are playing together as a team, and the support that I'm receiving from the team, I think it's helping. We know that everyone who's playing, they're giving their best, and I'm fortunate enough that I've been part of that success, and I just hope that I can continue to be part of the team's success.
It's set to be a really special atmosphere. Will that inspire the team as well tonight?
Yeah, it's always great to play under such conditions, and we know how electric it can be here, and every player wants to play in that kind of atmosphere, and so I'm sure everyone is excited, everyone is ready to put up a great fight.
I'm going to go from one striker to another now. Daka to Nugent. He hopefully will be right up for this, just as you would have been, just as we know Jamie Vardy would have been tonight.
Yeah, it's vital, to utilise his pace in behind. He's probably the quickest out the 4 strikers we've got. And against Roden and Ampadu, you got to try and get him behind them. Utilise his pace and get the wings on the ball. Running in behind. getting crossed into the box for him, because, as you say, his away form is pretty good. In his last 3 games away from home, so he wants to be there. He wants to be in the box. He's a goal scorer, and just being in the right place at the right time, he needs to be there today.
Yeah, that's his forte. Is out and out goal scoring for me. But fair play to him. He's tried to develop his game a little bit, I think, in terms of his movement. Maresca mentioned about his link-up play. We can tuck balls away, although he has missed a couple of glaring opportunities, but it happens to all strikers. But his movement allows runs in behind space. Talked about the 2 centre halves there with Nuge. He can drag them around a little bit and provide gaps for other people to run into as well. But he can also play off the shoulder as well. So he's got variety to his game, and he's a little bit more reliability in his link-up play, but certainly finishing. He's on a decent run of form. He's got the backing of the manager as well.
Yeah.
Seen his goals there, not one outside the box. Everyone inside the 6-yard box, either coming onto the ball for a tap-in or a penalty. You don't see no 30-yard screamers, do you? He's on the move in the box, and that's what you need as a striker.
Very quickly, about 30 seconds each, please. I'm mainly looking at you for that one.
Okay.
We've already talked about how big of a game is. It's Enzo might not have said from a Leicester point of view, but just the general context, always first versus second is big, and the context of the form is big as well.
Yeah, it'll have a big bearing on how the top end of the league looks after this game, won't it? But whatever it is, it's still positive from a Leicester point of view. Now, that's not like Leicester can be casual about this game at all. There's lots going on it, but we've said it throughout the theme of the show tonight. Like, what a game to win.
And what a game to play in. I keep on saying it. We'd love to play in this game if we were still playing now. Massive game. First be second. Go out there and prove that you're the best team in the league.
Lovely. What a way to end it. We should beam that into the dressing room as we are now, just under 15 minutes now away from kickoff at Ellen Road. That means we are now handing over to our commentary team. Before that, there'll be a little video explainer of what is available to you on Fox's Hub for the game this evening.
If you are watching on lcfc.com, just sit back and relax. If you are watching on social media, the live stream will finish shortly. If you want to continue enjoying our coverage, you'll need to head over to lcfc.com/Fox's Hub and purchase one of our game passes. If you are watching in a territory where the game isn't live on TV, you'll be able to watch a live video stream on Fox's Hub. Please visit lcfc.com/territories to check. If you can't find your location, live audio commentary is still available. You'll need to have an lcfc.com account before you purchase your Game Pass. If you already have one, please sign in and select your product at lcfc.com/Fox's Hub. Select the Buy button and you'll be taken to the payment page. Once you've followed the simple payment steps, press Continue at the bottom of the screen and you'll be taken to the Fox's Hub homepage. If you purchased a video pass, please select Watch Live from the Fox's Hub drop-down menu. If you purchased a Listen Live pass, please select Listen Live. If you purchased a seasonal or monthly video pass and the game is not being shown in your territory, please select Listen Live. If you are having a payment or technical issue, please email Leicester TV Support at streamamg.com. Thank you, and we hope you enjoy the match.